Welcome to CSBJ Radio. CSBJ Radio is the premier online business talk radio show in the Southeast. CSBJ proactively connects, informs, and engages its listeners in all aspects of small business. Discover the entrepreneur in you with CSBJ Radio. Now, here's your host, Greg Wilson.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of CSBJ Radio. I am your host, Greg Wilson, also the publisher of Connections Small Business Journal. You can read about us and see us online at www.connectionssbj.com. Of course, you can find us utilizing literally every aspect of social media as well, primarily Facebook. Our address on Facebook is facebook.com/connectionssbj. Our contact number, if you desire to give us a call for maybe advertising purposes or interview purposes as well, that telephone number is 706-289-7863. And again, be sure you check us out online at www.connectionssbj.com. You can read the entire paper online at the website that we've just given. You could read articles online, see advertisers, local advertisers, as well as regional advertisers as well, directly on that website. That website again is www.connectionssbj.com. Today's podcast is being brought to you by Rachel Wilcox, owner of Say Hola to Spanish. Rachel Wilcox, owner of Say Hola to Spanish. They are actually currently accepting enrollment. If you have a child, a school-age child that is interested in learning Spanish, French, or even sign language, I strongly recommend you give Rachel Wilcox, again with Say Hola to Spanish, a call. Her telephone number is 706-494-5386. If you're interested in maybe learning more about what she's offering, her website address is www.sayholatospanish.com. Again, that is www.sayholatospanish.com. And again, feel free to give her a call. Her telephone number is 706-494-5386. Again, they are currently doing open enrollment for Spanish, French, and even sign language courses. Again, we are glad to be here in the studio today. And we want to go ahead and just take this time and go ahead and jump right into today's podcast. All right, we're sitting here today with a good friend of mine, Derrick Headline Hayes. Derrick, man, how you doing today?
Great. I'm doing swell. Like I tell people everywhere I go, every day is great.
Every day is great.
In the Peach State.
In the Peach State.
In the Peach State, yes.
Good deal, man. How'd you come up, Derrick, with when I look at your Facebook page, man, I've been knowing you for quite a few years, and quite honestly, well, let me backtrack. I'm glad that we have made the connection that was made here recently. We met each other years ago at a minority networking night over at the Columbus Times newspaper. I'm not sure if you remember that, but yeah, I remember meeting you, man. And we've seen each other in the community here and there. But how'd you come up with the name Derrick Headline Hayes?
Well, it's a cool story. On Facebook, you always see people with these nicknames.
Right.
So I didn't want to just put a nickname out there that didn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a rule of thumb now. You try to match up your nickname to go with your first name or go with your last name. So at first I had How To.
Okay.
I had Derrick How To Hayes, and it had a little buzz, and it was cool. Then I was like, I get real creative, so a lot of times I'm trying to switch up all the time.
Okay.
So the next one I picked was Derrick Headlines Hayes.
Right.
And I picked headlines, and then people started buzzing, and then I felt the universe just said, hold tight, just sit there. Mm-hmm. But the reason I picked headlines anyway is because I blog a lot.
Right.
And I follow people that are out there like Carol Roth, people like Mike Michalowicz. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these, what they do is they have blogs themselves.
Right.
And they give people opportunities to, like, they pick a topic of the day. Mm-hmm. Like they may say, what is your best marketing strategy? Mm-hmm. And then they post it in there's websites out there that are free for experts that are trying to get their name out there.
Okay.
Like you have one called HARO, HARO, which mm-hmm. stands for Help a Reporter Out.
Okay.
And so you can sign up for the newsletter for free, and then they send it to you. HARO comes out 3 times a day.
Okay.
Goes out to thousands of people.
Wow.
So there's two sides to the story. One side is you have a source, just like we're on this podcast right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is a source.
Exactly.
And you can put your information in Hero.
Right. Okay.
And they'll send it out to experts all over the world. Thousands of experts, 100,000 experts.
Very good.
So the ones that qualify for whatever you're looking for, they get in touch with you.
Okay.
And so these leads lead to opportunities to get blogs, to get headlines.
Exactly. Okay.
And so over the 3-4 year period, I was in hundreds of, I got blogged in hundreds of blogs.
Good.
I've been what they call a contributing author in like 10 books.
Good. Okay.
One book was internationally.
Wow.
And I learned from that was people in America don't write like people in England because I sent in four story ideas. I got them turned away.
Right.
And one of the reasons is because I didn't know the language.
Mm-hmm.
In the UK, they spell the word color COLOUR.
Okay.
And we in America spell it COLOR.
Right.
And then they don't use Z's; they use S's.
Okay.
So organization in the UK is spelled with an S, and we spell it with a Z.
Okay.
So it was just a learning experience.
Right. Right.
And another thing I learned about was they had these things called gift bag requests.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with those? You got organizations all over the country like Big Brothers Big Sisters, YMCA,
right?
Any major organization, and they're not just in the U.S., they're all over the world, Canada, and they advertise events where you can promote your products and services in the gift bag request.
Okay.
You know, they have events like the Grammys, the Emmys,
right?
All these events, major events, have what they call gifting suites.
Okay.
And so I was getting, like I said, I was getting blogs and books. I was contributing author, but this was all about myself.
Right.
And so I wanted to turn it around and offer these same opportunities and help others get headlines.
Very good, very good. So I get it now. Derrick Headline Hayes. Now I've always said headline, but it's headlines with an S.
Headlines.
Headlines with an S.
If you've been quoted in CNN one time as a headline, but I've been quoted on CNN.com.
Multiple times.
NBC.com.
Very good.
So it's headlines. But I just say that to let you know that if I'm doing it, you can do it.
Exactly. Very good.
So that's why I offer a lot of other people opportunities to get blogs.
Right.
And I interview people to share my life with them in a positive way.
Right. I know and you've shared this story with me before about the beginning of Woe Enterprises. Let those that are listening to us even now on this podcast, explain to them just the beginning of Woe Enterprises and what it means. Because when people look at it, they as I did the first time, I didn't know what it meant until you actually stood up in a room full of people and you actually told us what it meant. Then it made sense to us. But explain to people, what does Woe Enterprises mean?
Well, Woe started with a situation where me and my first wife, our marriage was at the end, and I moved to Atlanta and Marietta, Georgia, with a good friend named Ron Cannon. I slept on his floor for a whole year, without a bed, just had a blanket and a pillow. But while I was on the floor, I had books. And a book to the right of me was the Bible, and I kept saying, "Woe is me." Mm-hmm. Then to the left of me, I had a dictionary, and inside the dictionary, I had to look this word "woe" up, and it said, "Woe was a trial or a tribulation." Mm-hmm. Like a woe to one person might be losing a job.
Exactly.
A woe to someone else might be losing a loved one.
Right.
And so then I seen the light and it said, before you leave work or go to sleep at night, give someone a woe, which means give them a word of encouragement. And so, I started seeing things and words that I never saw before. Mm-hmm. Just like, I just posted on Facebook, sometimes not how they spell it, it's how you tell it.
Right. Because
I just saw the word farmer, and then if you put C after the word farmer, it's pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Like the farmer can see some things. Right. But also like the word pharmacy, like where you get your drugs.
Exactly.
So, but our world has gone from pharmacy to pharmacy. Right. So it's like we're going from a produce world to a prescription world. Right. So it's just, Woe just gave me an in-look on words that I had never seen before, like the word look. Inside the word look is the word okay. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned, my mom was dying of cancer. Mm-hmm. Lost weight. Couldn't wear the heels that she used to wear. Didn't have the hair that she used to have. Right. But even at her worst that I've seen her, she said, don't worry about how things look because everything's going to be all right. Okay. And so what I started doing was, because I have been speaking off and on different places, it just gave me insight to say, you don't have to have the same presentation.
Right.
So I went to a major event, and I had a handout with nothing but words going down the page.
Right.
It was just a worksheet with words. And one by one, I told a story through these words, and the people said, wow, this is something different.
Right.
You know?
I definitely believe, man, that words are very, very important. I know that you've given me, where you actually take my name. You took my name and you wrote it on a sheet of paper and shared with me what my name meant in words. We can look up, on the internet and maybe see what Greg means, but to see your name actually broken down letter by letter with a word, I felt was pretty powerful. I mean, how is that going for you? Still doing that? The Derrick name? Okay.
Yeah, Derrick names is my gift.
Right.
You gotta know who you are, but you also gotta know what makes you great, what makes you good, what makes you understood. And I had different nicknames. Like some call me Headlines, some call me Derrick Nams, but they all brands. And,
exactly.
And if someone call you something that's positive, then it's making a difference.
That's right. And I know another thing that you're doing that I definitely want to talk about today and try to get people to take a look at. I mean, there is an honoree system that you're doing. It's called Today's Honoree.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Well, I have a good friend in Jacksonville, Florida, named L.J. Holloway. And you can find her information at ljholloway.info. LJ wanted me to do some public relations for her because she has an organization called All About Healthcare Advocates. And as soon as she asked me that, I was like, LJ, I don't think this is what we're supposed to be doing.
All right.
And she didn't get it at first. And then I didn't have the idea all the way together. So as we were talking, the idea was coming to me. But I just said, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. Then, the idea of Today's Honoree came. And then the idea was to honor somebody. But what's cool about the system is somebody else has to nominate them.
Right.
I can't nominate them.
Very good. Okay.
Because I wanted to have a system where people can recognize their peers that deserve recognition.
Right.
And it's been going on 2 years. And, so we've profiled almost 500 people.
Wow.
500 different people.
Wow.
So, it's a great vehicle. And when you start something, you never know where it's going to go or what it's going to lead you to do. But people are reaching out from all over the world. A lot of people from New York, a lot of people from L.A., Miami, Canada. And what I'm seeing is there's a lot of publicists out here that have great clients, and they nominate their clients that deserve recognition. And people are not always quick to just nominate somebody because they represent them. They really think long and hard, does this person, deserve to be honored? Right.
I'm looking at the website now, and I want to give it. I think now would be a perfect opportunity, man, to go ahead and give out that website address.
It's just todayshonoree.com. And it's a great way if you know someone out there that deserves recognition.
Right. Like I'm looking at it right now, man. This is amazing. Dr. Benson Campbell was the honoree a couple days ago, or yesterday, or the day before, actually. He's into. It appears that he's into martial arts. That's amazing.
He was inducted into a Hall of Fame.
Wow, that's big, man. And then there's a youth minister on here as well, Jared Sawyer.
Yeah, Jared Sawyer. He's still in high school.
Okay.
And he's been singing and preaching since he was young.
Right.
He's even written a book.
Yeah, I see that. Then you say he's still in high school.
Still in high school.
That's amazing. That's amazing. For those of you who are listening to us, check out his website again, www.todayshonoree.com, and just take a look at the amount of people that he has here. And there's a CEO, a young CEO, Jacqueline Waller, was the honoree on August 28th. Man, you're definitely doing it, Derrick, man. www.todayshonoree. What about your speaking engagements? I know that you shared with me recently at the CSBJ Mixer.
Yeah.
That you got a dream that's coming true, man.
Dream coming true. This last Tuesday I spoke at the library. I had a vision to talk to the community about the power of writing down your dream. Because 25 years ago this year, was my first year in college at Tennessee State University.
Okay.
And so when I left college, I had 2 ideas that I wanted to come true. We all have a lot of dreams, but
exactly.
I had 2 ideas I wanted to come true. And one was to bring $1 million back to my alma mater, which is Tennessee State University.
Mm-hmm.
That dream was halfway there because while I was in college, I told a friend when I looked at this blank wall, I said, man, we can make something happen with this wall. We can bring companies in here and bring in money, you know, to have it donated back to the school.
Right.
So there's a program in place called the Wall of Excellence Scholarship and Development Fund.
Wow.
It's on the downtown campus of Tennessee State University.
Okay.
So over the years since we've been out of school, it's raised over $500,000. My other dream was to come back and speak at Tennessee State one day. And so on Tuesday, September 24th, that dream would come true. Where I'll be the guest speaker.
Wow.
Paid speaker.
Paid guest speaker.
To speak at your alma mater.
He said I like the way you said that. Paid. Those are the best type of speaking.
No, I mean, that's a blessing.
You're right.
So, to do what you love to do.
Right.
Speak on building relationships in college and now.
Right.
It's a natural topic because that's what I do, network.
Okay.
Try to help people.
Very good. How do people get in contact with you, man? I know we gave out the website for today's honoree. Do you have a Facebook page?
Facebook.com/Derrick Hayes. My website is DerrickHayes.com. That's DerrickHayes.com.
DerrickHayes.com. And again, www.todayshonoree.com.
Yes, and you can nominate someone for today's honoree. That's how you can give back to someone else. But you know, if you still need publicity, you know, I have the Derrick interview.
Exactly.
You know, where I promote you and everything.
Everything you do. Yes, sir. And I appreciate even the one that you gave us during the mixer. That was truly what I consider a blessing. But I'm looking at your website right now. Again, for those of you who are listening to us, www.DerrickHayes.com. The website for today's honoree is www.todayshonoree.com. And all of us need to connect with this young man, even through social media. And I'm not going to get on my social media horse today, Derrick, but it's just amazing, man, the amount of people that you can connect with utilizing social media. And that your Facebook page, again, is facebook.com/Derrick Hayes.
Yeah, Derrick Hayes.
Sir. Anything else you want to add today, man?
No, just connect with me, say hello. Because inside of the word history, there's the word hi and the word story. In order to make history, you got to say hi to your story. So reach out to me and connect with me. Nominate someone for today's honoree. Let me Derrick interview you.
Right.
You know, if we local, I can do it on video. If you out of town, we do it over the phone or through email. Mm-hmm. So I've just been doing the Derrick interviews for a little over a year, and you know, I never thought that it would go where it go, but I kept saying I want to interview the biggest names in the game.
Exactly.
And so some of the biggest names are coming before me. I don't get every interview, but you know, I'm getting my share.
Right.
And we just making them happen.
Really quick before we go, man, give me some of the big names. I know you've interviewed some big names.
Yeah.
Maybe not every name, but you're definitely on your way. Give me some of the big names that you've interviewed.
Over the phone, some names some people may have heard of and they may not have heard of. International journalist George Curry. Mm-hmm. He had Emerge magazine back in the day. He's over the National Association. It's a newspaper writing organization.
Okay.
National Organization of Newspapers. It's a black community-owned newspaper.
Okay.
Dr. Benjamin Chavis.
Okay.
He was over the NAACP years
exactly.
ago.
Right.
Those two brothers right there, man. It's you know, them some what I call throwbacks.
Throwbacks.
When you actually talk to them over the phone,
right.
And you like, man, you wish you could just sit in their classroom. You ain't got to take those. You know,
soak up that knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, George Fraser. George Fraser had a book years ago called "Success Runs in Your Race."
Okay.
I talked on the phone with Freeway Rick Ross. Rick Ross is from L.A.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the American gangsters that they talk about, but he's out of prison and he changed his life around.
Okay.
So he has a biopic that's supposed to come out maybe this year or next year.
Right.
And Nick Cannon is playing. Playing him. Originally, a few months ago, I got an exclusive with Roy Jones Jr.
Okay.
Roy Jones was in Columbus area.
Exactly.
So I got an exclusive with him. Then I was able to meet Shaq. you know.
I know he was here recently as well.
Right. So I didn't get the Derrick interview with Shaq, but what I did do was I had a backup plan. Mm-hmm. So I had a personalized name piece for Shaq.
Very good.
So when I was able to get to him, I presented it to him, had somebody, hold the camera. So it made the most of the opportunity.
Exactly.
So there's a whole lot of people that don't have the bigger names, but they're doing big things.
Right.
And so you have one vehicle, you can't get the interview with them, and somebody nominate them for today's Honorees. Exactly. They be somebody you can interview in the future.
Very good. But Derrick, man, I greatly appreciate you coming in today. We're broadcasting here live in the studio here at Connection Small Business Journal, man. You could, again, check him out, today'shonoree.com. His website address is www.derrickhayes.com, and, of course, through Facebook, facebook.com/Derrick Hayes. Man, we appreciate you coming in.
Hey,
bro.
Just tell them if they're looking for a way, contact the CSBJ.
The CSBJ. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.